Nah, somebody got to be held accountable for this.
Post the 70s, second wave, third wave radical feminism that told you have sex with whoever you want and then kill the child after has given us a sense of like, well, my body's not important, my family's not important, having a man is not important. Our music tells us that. Like, country music's not telling anyone to divorce their husband. It's rap music that's telling us like, get rid of your man, you don't need him. So like,
Facts.
those stereotypes are born from a true place. It has nothing to do with racism.
We gonna laugh, we gonna learn, but somebody got to be held accountable. What's good? What they do? It's your boy Purple Lips. Ain't broke no more. All praise to the Most High. Welcome back to the ABN movement.
A black woman argues that during the most openly racist eras, like slavery, Reconstruction era, and the Jim Crow era, you know, that black family units were stronger than they are today. And she also said that, you know, some stereotypes are uncomfortable, but they're not entirely fabricated, you know? Other black women on the panel kind of proved her point by cutting her off, raising their voices and responding emotionally. But was she wrong? You know what I'm saying? Or was she just saying something people don't want to hear? We ain't gonna waste too much time. Let's get into it.
The stereotypes about black women are born from a place that is true. We can, and I say we as a collective, like we can be aggressive, we can be assertive, we can be masculine, we can basically disregard the family unit. Like, and I'll summarize this, but Thomas Sowell writes about it that post-slavery and the Reconstruction era and in the Jim Crow era in the 50s, 60s, where it's like the most racist, the black nuclear family was still intact. Mother, father in the home with all the children. Post the 70s, second wave, third wave radical feminism that told you have sex with whoever you want and then kill the child after has given us a sense of like, well, my body's not important, my family's not important, having a man is not important. Our music tells us that. Like, country music's not telling anyone to divorce their husband.
Facts.
It's rap music that's telling us like, get rid of your man, you don't need him. So like,
Facts.
those stereotypes are born from a true place. It has nothing to do with racism. You know, no offense to anyone who brought it up, but like
Big up to her.
in the most racist time in America, the black family was intact. So it's nothing to do with that.
Don't you see that that was a problem for them?
Can something be uncomfortable and true at the same time? Hakuna Matata.
That's why she brought the book. She makes sense. Good breakdown.
Oh man,
Okay.
great.
That was the most racist time in America when slaves were free.
Well, I would argue that freeing the slaves was the least racist thing that could be done at the time.
So you're quoting that the most unracist time in America.
Well,
the
keep
most
in
racist
mind-
time in America is what you said.
Well, keep in
Where
mind that
after
only
slaves were free.
1%, less than 1% of the population in 1860, where slavery was at its highest, actually owned slaves.
So did you forget of the
99%
drug
did not own
epidemic that
slaves.
came about in the 60s and 70s that actually split apart the black families along with the feminists?
Well, the drug epidemic.
This the ABN movement. If you made it this far, I appreciate y'all. Go ahead and press that like button. And if you like the video, go ahead and join the movement. We post 4 times a week. It's your boy Purple Lips. Ain't broke no more. Thank you.
That's an entirely separate thing. Like you get into
So it has nothing to
and
do
all
with
that.
black people,
No.
African Americans. It wasn't targeted to African American communities.
Well,
They didn't force no drugs down your throat or down your nose or in your veins or anything like that. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? Just because you present it inside your neighborhoods or wherever you put it in front of you, doesn't mean you have to take it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's I think that's a weak argument.
I don't know about a specific community being targeted, but I mean, black people.
Okay, I'll rest my case.
What did you
I
guys
don't think we're talking about dating apps specifically, right? Like I'm not saying
No.
I'm not saying anything about drugs or anything like that, but we're asking why are black women swiped on the least? And it's because we do not value other men telling us what to do, being around us, being in our lives. We don't value having their children. We have like, have you ever watched Divorce Court or Judge Joe Brown? It's
Those are
always a
scripted,
black woman.
ma'am.
Yeah, but that's
It's
fake. They
always
just asked me to
fake.
come on there and pay me. What are you
Exactly,
talking
they're
about?
fake.
It's fake. Don't go off of that. Come on now.
I understand
That's your
that
logic
it's TV,
to go
but
back to?
why aren't they gonna ask a white woman to go?
It's proving a point. It's not the actual show that she's saying. Yes, it's fake, but it's the point behind how the behavior follows it follows the same things that they say. So at the end of the day, you're just acting emotionally.
On divorce court because she's not going to be as loud and ratchet and funny
It's
and
just not
hilarious.
public. I come from women not going to be as entertaining.
It's
We've
not
been
gonna
the
be as
entertainment
entertaining.
before.
Why is historical strength erased, but historical trauma is always highlighted?
Tired.
What she's trying to say
TV.
is that
We've been the
in one
entertainment.
of the worst times to be an African American, Black families were together. Black women stood by their Black men, as she was saying before, right? So what she's saying now is that fairly equal across the board nowadays, right? And you can argue that minorities might even have an advantage over Caucasians.
Yeah.
And the stereotypes of Black women are worse now than they were back then.
100%.
Is what she's trying to say.
They are.
Because we have social media.
Well, no, because we are given, I would argue, too much freedom to do whatever we
100%.
want and not being held back by some semblance.
Man, big up to her, man. You know, for her awareness, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, during times of extreme oppression, you know what I'm saying, Black families stayed together, you know what I'm saying? They showed clear roles together, you know what I mean? And they prioritized survival, duty, and structure to protect their identity at their household first and then to the community.
Not being held back by some semblance of modesty has made us, like, for the most part, run around in the streets like lawless.
Yeah, but isn't that-
it doesn't reflect well on
100%.
us as a whole.
So
So
you
you
don't
don't
think
think a man
more
is swiping
than-
on Tinder, he's gonna be like, well, she's Black, she runs in the street, she's loud, she's obnoxious, she's aggressive, she's
But
masculine,
that's
she's
a
rude.
thing of free will. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Which means if your free will, it
Your
means that
free will
you
is to be
behave.
masculine and aggressive and assertive.
Yeah, you're
and
controlling your
that.
actions.
Right.
However, the man
Exactly.
does not have to deal with that. Like, he
I don't understand how that is liberating to her, saying that is free will in the context that she wants to use it. I can see free will. Why isn't that same free will used towards your accountability or the decisions that you make?
he doesn't have to. So if he sees a Black girl,
He assumes.
she may fit that stereotype. She has I'm going to say 70% chance of fitting that stereotype. Why should he
Wow.
bet on that 70% when he can swipe
70%.
right?
70?
Not 70. I'm just
Not
not
70.
Are you that way?
Okay, are we protecting feelings or are we gonna start fixing outcomes? Hakuna Matata.
made up that
A
number.
Black woman, are you that way?
So do
I mean,
Yo, you guys
I
are
don't-
perpetuating the stereotype by cutting her off.
Literally.
Yeah.
Real talk. She's trying to articulate her point, and y'all, who cuts her off? The Black girls at the table. Like, y'all, real talk, are perpetuating the stereotype even further. Here's the thing:
fact.
stereotypes exist in some semblance of reality
True.
and
That's
some
it.
semblance of truth. It's upon you as the individual to prove that stereotype wrong. Here,
100%.
me and him, we're Black too. I get stereotyped. I walk in a store, they think I'm going to steal. They think I'm a bad person. They think I'm a criminal. Girls walk by me on the street, they cross the street, etc. It is what it is. I accept that. It's on me to prove the stereotype wrong because I understand that stereotypes typically are in some form truth.
Yeah.
But when you continue to perpetuate this,
The first thing first is stereotypes. You are in a change. You can change your stereotype. You know what I mean? But it starts with you, and then it translates to your kids, and then it transforms into your community. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us to make the decisions, to hold ourselves accountable, to not fit the criteria and stereotypes. You know what I mean? But it does come from some truth, and we cannot be ignorant to that. Black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, we all fall into categories, but it doesn't completely identify us all. It doesn't, because we have the decision to change ourselves, change that image, change that behavior, and then teach our kids the right behavior and carry ourselves with the right behavior that we want to be acknowledged from. A strong culture behind your family unit. You know what I mean?
stereotype, all you do is reinforce the negative stereotype of the race of which you are.
Nah, 100%.
By proving them right. So I look at it like, no, speak well. Don't be an idiot. Don't listen to, hip hop music that perpetuates a certain stereotype. And if you want to listen to it, it is what it is. But if you actually enact on it, fuck all dudes. I don't need a man, blah, blah, blah. This is why.
Why does discussing Black family decline trigger anger instead of solutions? Hakuna Matata.
Why so many guys are like, yo, I don't want to deal with Black women because they think that that's a stereotype. Now, are all Black women like that? No, of course
No.
not.
Obviously, yeah, no.
But, right, there's this mantra out there that, yo, she could act like this. There's a high likelihood she acts like this. So I'm going to go with what's probable versus what's possible.
Can I ask you?
gonna lie, you know, he couldn't have said it any better. You know what I'm saying? At the ABN movement, that's exactly what we're about, man. We're about investing back into our kids at the end of the day and teaching them real trade skills so that they are not the same people that we complain about that living today, the adults that we complain about, the men that we complain about today, the women that we complain about today. Let's go ahead and invest that back into our children. You know what I'm saying? Here's the Purple Up breakdown. In the past eras, you know, identity was built around family, the duty, survival, and contribution. You know what I'm saying? And today we identify more with, you know, our feelings, victimhood, and outside validation. You know what I mean? And you know, it's just not wrapped up in a true identity. You can't build strong families with fragile egos. You know what I mean? And if we were strong back then, we can be even stronger now. You know what I'm saying? But only if we stop lying to ourselves. Hakuna Matata.
Hey man, accountability before excuses. Ain't broke no more spiritually, mentally, and systematically. This the Ain't Broke No More movement. We building brick by brick. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out.